No one would have expected, inside a neglected garden shed in the Hertfordshire countryside, would be planted the seed of something magical.
Hello and welcome to My Ferret Life, the weekly show where we recap the last 7 days of ferret fun and fling open the doors to our built-for-streaming ferret enclosure for 48 hours of uninterrupted ferret life. With me is the man in the chair, MahdDogg.
Hello, everybody. Nice to see you all. Oh,
nice
look,
to see you. Nice to see you. One of the girls, Wriggles, has actually gone to bed. As this is the first show, we've spent quite a lot of time down here already preparing and rehearsing, and Wriggles has plumb worn herself out.
Oh, hopefully she'll perk up a
she's
little
fast
bit
asleep.
later.
Well, I'm sure she will. As soon as she hears us chatting and reviewing the clips, then I'm sure she's going to jump out of bed. If you are new to the channel, then we are FerretTubeTV. We built a ferret enclosure with the purpose of streaming it around 5 high-definition night vision cameras. We've also got a 6th camera that's outside and will soon be pointing at an external run, and currently actually runs 24/7, that external camera, just showing the garden and the wildlife inhabitants in our garden. So we've been streaming for 5 months now, this enclosure, is that right, MahdDogg?
It is. It was August, the beginning of August, that we actually turned the cameras on for the very, very first time.
Yeah.
That was one.
And then we streamed
24/7
for 5 months for that whole period. We learnt a load. We had some ups and we had some downs.
This is true.
There were a lot of downs at the beginning, but we've now evolved to the point where we want to try and share with you in perhaps a more concentrated way the week that we have living with the ferrets and building all of the content that we're building, but also having time to share with you some how-to guides if you want to stream your own pets, or if you're interested in technology or pet care in general, then that's what we're going to be concentrating on over the next few months at least. So Indeed. This is your means to keep updated with what's been going on. I just wanted to say thank you to everybody who's been a part of this journey with us so far. We've got an amazing community that's beginning to grow around us. The 24-hour live stream on YouTube has always got people chatting away. And then, of course, we've had loads of support from you all through our Discord and through the community groups that we've set up there. So don't forget, if you want to join us in a bit more of a community way, there'll be links to the Discord down below. And if you could take the time to hit that subscribe button, it doesn't cost you anything, and it helps us grow the channel to the point where we can really start thinking about even more great content that we can bring you. And you know that little like button down there? You know where it is. It's under the screen. Give that a mash while you're here as well. That would be great. Thank you so much. Talking of great, some of our supporters also choose to go to the Patreon page, and they have been an absolute rock for us with extra financial support, because this kind of endeavour doesn't come absolutely free of charge.
No.
So head on over to Patreon too if you want to support us, because we give the Patreon subscribers some added little bonuses, don't we, MahdDogg?
We do indeed, and in fact, the clips that we're about to review and talk about and just see what the girls have been up to were released yesterday for our Patreon subscribers. So they've already had a sneak peek and seen what's coming.
So we'll tell you more about that, obviously in the packages and the deep dives into, how we formulated our marketing strategy and our production and content making strategy. But that's not the place. This is not the place to talk about that.
No.
Because this is all about the fun of being a ferret owner. Now, we have been sharing with you 24/7 for 5 months of that journey, but unfortunately, we can't give you the weekdays anymore. So what we undertook to do was keep our eye out for the very best of moments that happen during the week and compile them into a sequence for you so that we can share them with you tonight and talk about them with you tonight. So MahdDogg, what's the first clip on the list?
The first clip on the list it's kind of my favourite. I was thinking about saving the best till last, but I don't know about everybody else.
You eat the best. Yeah,
I've
if I'm eating
waiting.
a plate of food, and one of the thing I like the most, I'll always start with the thing I like the most.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've decided to go that way here because I don't know about the audience or you, but I've missed the bounce. And we got some quality bounce coming up. Everybody, check this out.
This was one of my morning studio plays with them, and as you can see there, this is one of the things that I really wanted to point out, actually, because this bouncing at me in the camera, that's a new thing for Scruffles. She's been very bouncy, and she does this pole dancing bounce when she gets really excited, where they wiggle around and jump from side to side. But she's started now to include me in these playtime sessions, proactively include me by coming over and actually, having a bounce and attacking me. Wriggles will play with me when I insert myself into that game. So if I sort of, do the chasey fingers, she'll reverse away from me. Scruffles is really now, I think she's bonded with me very strongly now, and so she's beginning to see me just as another ferret who's there to be chased around and played.
And when they do that, when they dive up towards you like that, what's that called again? That's got a specific name, hasn't it, when they do that kind of play?
The jumping around, the pole dancing? I mean, they call it the weasel dance or the war dance. And it's actually instinct. The war dance, yeah, it's an instinctual behaviour. So, and people actually sometimes view it as, and there's Wriggle just giving me a bit of a bounce as well. Some people see that and they don't know ferrets and they get afraid. They think that the ferret is, being aggressive or, perhaps has got rabies and, is losing its mind or something. Because it does look pretty weird because they kind of jerk from side to side like that. And I find with my two as well, they'll suddenly, when they get super excited, they'll suddenly get really itchy on one of their sides. So they'll suddenly sort of curl themselves into a ball to sort of nibble at an itch on their side. But it's a completely instinctual behaviour, and it's just the way that they show excitement and playfulness.
Oh, and they still love it under that rug. They really do like
They're
it
tunnelling
under that
creatures. Yeah, ferrets are tunnelling creatures, so you can see that, the natural instinct, and that I've got lots of tubes around the floor, and behind, underneath the cage, there's a bunch of boxes that have created nice channels, around and in between them, and they just love nothing better than just chasing each other round and round in circles, trying to dodge into a tunnel before the other one's seen which tunnel they went in. So it's just so much fun to watch them play like that, and I love sharing those moments with you guys, so that's one of the ones I really wanted to capture, just to share with you again this evening. And there she goes, bouncy bounce.
Oh, that's so lovely. I do love that. It's so cute to see the bouncing around like that. It's crazy. But we've got we've had an opportunity, I think, and I think you've taken it over the last week or so, to try and find some views of the inside of the enclosure that we've not yet had the opportunity to see. Isn't that right?
Yeah, one of the things that always breaks my heart when I come in here to the studio and there are people watching, and if particularly Wriggles is because she's all oozy and kind of cuddly when she's just woken up, and she'll slither out of the tube that leads into their sleep box, and she'll just sort of sit on the top thing and just sort of stretch out carry me down, mummy. Also, Scruffles is known to have epic sort of reorganization.
Yes.
Periods where she'll sort of try and move all the toys around. She goes up, and so she struggles for hours to get everything positioned right, going up and down those ramps. So I really wanted to take the opportunity, whilst no one was watching live, to specifically capture the areas that we don't capture with our setup as it is at the moment.
Yeah. So this is a first for FerretTube, really. We're about to see an angle here that's never been witnessed before on the internet. Right here, right now.
Welcome to my tunnel.
Oh,
and
there it is.
Demonstrated nicely by Scruffles, by Wriggles rather. So you can see there, so that's actually at the top of 3 levels of the enclosure. So it's actually quite a height up there. And you may be able to see there's a kind of a wooden tunnel, like a trunk, a carved out trunk. I got that, I think, from a fish shop, like a fish tank shop. It's supposed to be
like
fish
for an
tank
aquarium.
It's like a tunnel for the fish to swim through. It's made out of real wood, but it's it's sort of aged in water, driftwood kind of thing. And I picked that up, sort of stuck my arm through it, and was like, "Oh yeah, that'll do a tunnel." And that's now the entrance to their sleep box. And the unfortunate thing is, as you can see, there's kind of like a little extra diving board of wood sticking out.
I thought that was
added on afterwards.
For a little feature.
Well, that and the string barriers, they were added on afterwards, because when we first moved the girls in, I didn't realise that they wouldn't be able to negotiate. They're kind of clumsy. I didn't realise how clumsy ferrets would be. And they're okay sort of turning around in a very tight space if they've got walls to press against. But if there's no walls to guide them, they're actually pretty pathetic. So they kept falling off that top barrier, that top layer there. So I think it was on day 2 I had to sort of put in place that extended bit of counter with carpet stuck to the top, so there's something for their claws to grab onto so they don't fall off. And then the day later even I had to go in again and put those rope barriers up. That's just pieces of Hessian rope that have been staple gun top and bottom, because they still kept falling off. I think they were just cutting off that corner and forgetting it went sort of down 3 levels.
There was no ground beneath it and they'd forgotten. I do remember that first night after we brought them back and introduced them to the enclosure, and we were working on an edit upstairs and watching them on the NVR, or that's the server that captures all of the camera footage that covers the entire enclosure, and they must have fallen off about 2 or 3 times before, and your heart must have been leaping out of your chest every time it happened. You could just hear you going, oh no, and then you ran down the stairs with every cushion from the living room, I believe, and layered it right there, right on that thing behind you, and put that down there. You built a crash mat for the ferrets.
I felt dreadful because I'd done quite a lot of research into ferrets, and one of the things I'd read about ferrets was that their bones were more brittle than other creatures of their nature, because they're not really built for jumping and shock absorbing and stuff. So I was just terrified that I was going to, I've done this grand endeavour, told everybody, I'm going to put ferrets on the internet, and like within days I'd broken them. I was like, oh no, I can't break the poor little, and they were just so cute right from the very beginning. I just wanted to be there and protect them all the time, but they seem to have got used to it now. And you can see the reason that I actually chose this clip out of all of the clips, there's lots of clips of them going backwards and forwards, but it's really funny to see. And actually this is something that I didn't realise until I started reviewing the clips, but you see there, so Wriggles, she's sort of like has a good sniff around. She's obviously looking for something. She's looking for her sister. She's like, where's my sister? Where's my sister? And she goes off to have a look around, and eventually she goes and has a good sniff down round the side. And Scruffles, who's inside the sleep box, obviously feels so threatened by her interference that she feels she has to move her favourite ball. And Wriggles is always like an annoying sister, is always following Scruffles around, and Scruffles is just like, leave my stuff alone, don't touch my stuff, now I'm going to have to put my ball somewhere else. So you'll see Wriggles is about to go in.
Right.
She goes backwards, and I don't know what she's doing there. She's just kind of like, I think she's probably,
she's being
if they
told
were humans,
to go away.
She's probably teasing. Yeah.
Probably. Oh, she's trying to get in from the side there.
Yeah, she's forgotten how to get into the sleep box. That'll happen. And meanwhile, you can imagine Scruffles in there is trying to sleep with her ball.
Mm-hmm.
And poor old Scruffles doesn't want any interference from her sister.
She doesn't.
Here she goes.
That's all. Okay, she's in.
Oh, is she though? I can see her tail sticking out.
No, she's backing out.
No, she's back out again.
She's,
there you go. Now she's in.
Yeah.
I do wonder if her sister's actually, because look, straight away she's just like,
hey,
oh,
there's
God.
the scruff.
She's so
straight
annoying.
out.
Right.
She's like, oh.
No, she's
I was
sniffing around
having
the same place that Wriggles was sniffing. So I'm a bit. I might need to do an investigation around there and see if
something's got in.
It's been funny to see Scruffles as well. She uses that side. She kind of climbs up where she's sniffing now. She uses that as her expressway to the top floor. She just climbs straight up the door now. So here she comes. She wants to check
Okay, she's
to
gone
eat.
down.
Wriggles comes out to see where she's. Then they go back there to sniff again. I really must investigate that area and see.
You do. You
what
need to check
exactly
that.
they
That's a really
stash.
hard bit to get to, though.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Even with the folding doors.
So there she goes off to see her sister. She's like, oh no, back. She goes back into bed. So now, Scruffles probably goes in there and finds her playing with her toy.
Oh. You must never play with Scruffles as a toy. You've seen what she's like with a Duca.
Yeah. And there we go. She's like, no,
yeah.
you're not having that. You're going to put that
That's my
somewhere
ball.
safe. I'm going to put it down there.
Yeah, she's definitely
And
not
then,
having that.
A few moments later, she takes it back into the bedroom again because Wriggles comes out to investigate. So it's really, there we are, Wriggles coming down. Wriggles is like, what's that? What are you doing with the ball? And Scruffles is like, oh, for goodness sake. Why is she following me around the whole time? Oh, don't take it back inside now.
Proper annoying younger sibling.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And
But
I'm
we've
seeing
got-
that in so many of the interactions.
Yeah. I mean, we've got another view. The same place, but a little bit later on.
Yeah, the Shaky Fox is one of Scruffles' favourite toys. And Shaky Fox has been in the bedroom for a few days. But last night, it seems, when this happened, or it was the night before last, she decided to bring Shaky Fox out. Now, Shaky Fox only just fits through that tube. So currently, I don't know if Wriggles is inside or not, but currently, there's a Shaky Fox in the only exit. But she gives him a good tug. And there he is.
And that takes it
out
down the ramp.
and down. She does, and she's funny because she often doesn't bother to turn around down there as well. She just goes and reverses back up.
I always imagine one of those lorries just making those little beep 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 noises as she goes back up.
Yeah. Oh, we did talk about that, didn't we? We're going to make all sorts of
We
silly
did.
stuff.
I was going to make one of that, but I couldn't find a reversing lorry sound that I like.
Oh, really?
I really couldn't. I don't know if I'm too picky, but
We'll have to just go
I'll
out
have
and
another
one.
look.
Next time a delivery driver comes by, tell him, hang on a minute, can you just reverse for
Can
me?
you just back up while I hold my phone at the back of your van? I need it for content.
So yeah, that's the new view. One of the new views, and what I'm going to do as well is throughout the week now that I've discovered that this kind of works, I'm going to make a point of trying to capture some different aspects of the enclosure that you won't see when you're watching 24 hours over on FerretTube at the weekend. So so hopefully we'll have in this show each week we'll have some new stuff to show you and some new views to show you. And there's another new view actually coming up, and this is a bit of a more closed view, and again I only did this 2 days ago, so I didn't really get a chance to get what I wanted. I was hoping to see sort of Dragon Ball being shoved in the tube, or something going on. But we did capture this moment between the girls where Scruffles, they often sort of store their treats away in the tube for eating later, and Scruffles had just gone and stored one. And then Wriggles comes to investigate. See, same story again. Scruffles gone to do her thing, and Wriggles like, what's Scruffles doing?
The pestering younger sibling. Let's have a look.
Pestering younger sibling. So here we are. Here comes Scruffles. And Wriggles is already kind of like, what are you doing, Scruffles? Scruffles has got her treat there. She's popped it down. She's checking it's all right. And as she's backing up, who's coming in from the left?
Oh, there she is. Here's trouble.
Scruffles is like, no, back off. Back off. And in a moment you'll hear a little bit of a duke, which is the sound they make. There, that's the kind, I recognise that duking now. That's a kind of ow, ow, that's too hard kind of duke. It's it's a ow, it's hurting me. And there we go. Scruffles has been chased off, and Wriggles wins the prize of whatever sort of tasty morsel they'd stored away there for later. They're only having biscuits now. We use James' well-beloved biscuit feed. They only have that, and then I give them dried meat treats. So, but they've got no fresh meat in their diet now, on the advice of the vet. And if people have very strong feelings either way about that, and if you're watching this and you feel strongly either way, feel free to leave a message down in the comments below on what you think. I'll be talking in more detail in a special report coming up in probably in a couple of months' time by now, because I'm just learning myself. But there's a lot of different opinion about what's the right kind of diet to feed a ferret. So we definitely welcome any thoughts that you have in the comments. So there's Scruffles. Now Scruffles does actually end up having a little moment at the end here, even though Scruffles is sort of like nommed. And actually, I just wanted to point out as well, when she backs out of the tube, which I think she's going to in a moment, look, see how white her hair is underneath. So ferrets have two layers of hair. They have the outer guard hair, which is often darker, and then the underneath hair, which is fluffier and often lighter. And that's the kind of the warm, downy layer. But the guard hair on the outside is, to protect them really from, give them a limited amount of protection when they're pushing their way through, bushes and brambles and roots underground to make the tunnel. So the Scruffles has just gone and found that all the treats now have been eaten. So she actually comes back in a few moments and says, well, I'm just going to... And this is another thing I'm going to do a little sort of tip about. Ferrets love AstroTurf. Both of ours do this. And I think they do it as a cleaning/grooming, and also probably that it feels quite nice. But they love to push their face into the bristles of the AstroTurf and have a really good sort of rub up and down. So I think as a quality of life thing, I think they really appreciate that. If you're not going to keep your ferrets outside where they can, actually rub up against real nature, then a really good solid AstroTurf is probably a really good option. So that's the alternative views for this week. It's not all happiness and light though here at Ferret TV Studios. We have had some health issues that we've been dealing with.
You have, and I wanted to ask you about that because today you had the girls down at the vets again. And there've been a number of times over the last month or so, or maybe a little bit longer. I don't know when it started, but give us a bit of background on that. Why were the girls going to see the vet in the first place?
Yeah, a few months ago, they just started losing weight inexplicably. Wriggles was being sick, but Scruffles wasn't really being sick. But Scruffles clearly had problems with her bowel movements, and was straining, and the poops didn't look right. You can tell a lot about a ferret's health by their poop, the state of their poop, which we're going to have packages on that soon as well, so you'll understand what I mean. But there was clearly something wrong with them. So then sort of ensued a long and laborious process of elimination, really. I've come to learn about ferrets recently that their health is not as simple as perhaps a cat or a dog, or maybe not as understood by as many vets as a cat, as your regular pets. They are exotic pets. They're also they have a very unevolved digestive system, which doesn't mean it doesn't work and it's not efficient. It just means it's not evolved very much over the over the eons since it became extremely efficient at doing what it needs to do. So all of these additional foods that have entered the food chain, they can't really handle them, and anything that is wrong with them generally shows up as a digestive problem first. So we've been through a process of elimination. The first vet that I started with, I don't know that they necessarily were as au fait with ferrets as my new vet now, but we tried some treatments. We gave them a treatment for Helicobacter, which is a type of bacterial infection, and there were 2 different types of antibiotics and also Pepto-Bismol. So when I say I'm going to do a guide on how to give your ferret meds, I've talked from extreme levels of experience already, having given them. So they had a lot of antibiotics even before that. Then we had them spayed, and the vet sort of just checked whilst she had them open up, or whilst she had Scruffles, who was the worst one suffering, opened up. She checked all her organs, and they all looked okay. They ran their blood work. All the tests came back negative. We did a poop sample. Test came back negative. Anyway, then I changed the vets because I managed to find one a bit closer, but turns out it was a really good move because this vet is a much smaller practice and they've got a lot more time to answer my questions. And we are now in the 3rd round of possible treatments. So we went to the vet today because they came off the last medications and then started to lose weight again. And the vet had seen photographs of their poops, which I'm happy to put up in the forums if anybody wants to. Put a link below if you want to see photos of the poop, then let me know. I'm not going to subject you to it if you don't, but if you want to see photos of the poop, then I can provide those.
That's going to be hard to explain that particular channel in the Discord.
Yeah, the poop channel in the Discord. Well, no, if anyone's a ferret owner, it's not hard to explain at all. It's really not.
Not really, no.
So the vet basically said we did a second lot of sampling of the poop and they came back negative. And so the vet now suspects that it's irritable bowel disease. So again, it's... this is the next thing we're going to try and cure, right? So it may not be the cure, but we're gradually going through the list of possibles. They're on steroids.
Right.
They are on... So goodness knows, I mean, I hope they're not the kind of steroids that weightlifters take and they're going to go all weird on me, but they're on something called Prednicare. Prednicare, 1 milligram, and I've got to give them 1 tablet a day each for 14 days and then 1 tablet every other day for another 14 days. So that's my little stash. They crush up and go into a little bit of a... This is absolute gold dust for ferret owners. This is our ferret. It's called To Be Frets salmon pate. And the ferrets absolutely love it. It was recommended by a vet friend of mine, a ferret vet friend of mine who knows her stuff, and it's got vitamins and minerals in as well. So it's super good for hiding tablets and medication inside, as long as the medication isn't too bitter. So that's where we're on to now. He also, the new vet, sort of dug down. Poor Wriggle. He went right down inside her ear with a Q-tip, and it came out completely black, and like they've got ear mites still. So the first vet just gave me 1 ear mite treatment, and that was it. And this vet said, one won't do it. You're going to have to keep treating them. So I've got to wait for that stuff to be delivered. They've ordered it in because they didn't have any for the small creatures in stock, but I'll get that next week. Yeah, and that is why Wriggles particularly has been itching a lot. People have noticed, watching the stream, have noticed that she's been scratching a lot more, and it was discussed that could that be a symptom of adrenal problems. which could be to do with the weight loss. Now, I talked about that with the vet, and the vet said, no, absolutely not. It's, there would be a lot of other symptoms if they had adrenal problems, so you can wipe that off your list. I was also really nervous because I saw a ferret nutritionist blog vlog the other day. It was saying about feeding giving them a mix of a meat diet and a biscuit diet at the same time, and the problems that can cause in terms of you could even create a situation with leaky gut. So I said that to the vet as well, and the vet told me not to watch so much YouTube. Not in so many words, but he was basically laughing, and he was like,
"Is this because leaky gut's not actually a thing?"
I don't know. I mean, but he was like, he said by what? He said I've never heard of a ferret nutritionist. No. And he said, if you think about it, look at what happens in our stomachs. We eat something. If you eat a chicken dinner and then you eat spaghetti bolognese, spaghetti bolognese doesn't wait to get digested until the chicken dinner's, it all mixes together in your stomach, and the same thing happens with ferrets. So.
Yes.
It's not a worry, but so essentially my vet told me not to watch so much YouTube, which is fair enough.
Which is fair enough,
I
but
suppose.
not what we want the audience to do. We want you to watch plenty of YouTube.
We do. But listen, I'm never going to tell you that I'm an expert in anything. When I share information with you, it's going to be information that I share because I've researched it and I found it from other places. And things like that. Exactly. Go to the vet. See this thing about leaky gut, worry about it. But instead of saying to you, be worried about leaky gut, I'm going to take it to the vet and say, just checking, is this the thing? So hopefully it helps you not make the mistakes that I've made, and helps you sort of get a leg start with your own furry friends' well-being, or just you enjoy watching somebody else look after animals, poke poop with a pencil, and get bitten on the nose occasionally. That happens.
But they had a period which was the first thing that we started to notice that there was a problem, was that they were losing weight. And I know you've been keeping track of that. So how are the girls doing from a weight point of view? Because I know that's something that we've all... I know I've been sitting going, how they're doing, how they're going. So can you give us an update on their weight?
This is the running total. It's not very high tech, I know, but it's enough. So the last time that the Twitch viewers checked in was on the 6th of January, when Scruffles was 729 grams and Wriggles was 899 grams. Now that was coming down, so they've been coming down for 2 weeks. So 2 weeks before that, Scruffles was 749, then she went down to 746, then she went down to 729. And Wriggles as well, she was at 729, she went down to 714, and then 899. So Wriggles is stockier anyway, but a downward trend is a downward trend, whether you're stockier or skinnier to begin with.
That's true.
So I weighed them on the 11th, and actually Scruffles had put on a bit of weight. She was at 739, so she'd put on 10 grams, and Wriggles had put on 2 grams. She was at 901. But then I weighed them yesterday, which was 4 days later, and Wriggles has gone down to 886 grams and Scruffles 724. So, and the vet, when he looked at the photographs of their poop, he was like, yeah, there's definitely still a problem, and I think it's, I think that steroids could cure it, and so we're trying that, and I've got to let him know how it's going in 2 weeks' time. So hopefully we're on a road, or at least if not the road to recovery, we're in the process of eliminating another possible treatment.
Absolutely.
So we're going to hit it eventually.
That's part and parcel of the diagnosis process. There he is. You've got to eliminate.
It is with ferrets, it seems. It is with ferrets, because people haven't got such great range of experience with them as with the more common domestic pets like cats and dogs.
That is true.
Not that you're common, dog.
Well,
you're
I would say I am.
But,
I'm pretty common.
I also think the vet would have a problem if I took you to see him. So
I think I'd have a problem with the vet if you took me to see the vet. I don't like needles. I'm not a big fan. But we've got
dog.
some,
not really a dog.
No, hashtag not actually a dog. But we've got one more bit of content to show our lovely viewers, and this one we're just gonna let you experience this one very much for yourselves.
Nice to see you, ladies. So I have I have purchased a brush, a mini slicker brush, and what we're doing right now is we're going to open it up and see if these guys enjoy getting brushed. Ooh. Yes. Who wants to go first? Scruffles? Wriggles, you come here. Ready? You're always itchy. Come on. What do you think? Is that nice? You can't carry it off. Ah. You want another go at brushing? Here, stay your tummy. Oh, she's a little bit discombobulated by that, aren't you? Look how nice it is. Maybe they'll rub their faces on it. Maybe I could do some encouragement to get them to stay still and focused on something else while I get them used to the feeling of the brush. So out comes the ever faithful salmon paste. The girls absolutely love it. Scruffles. Good girl. She's kind of wiggling her bum away from it. Oh, I think she kind of likes that. You done? Wiggles? Feel to them? Yeah. Wiggy. To get used to it. You're going to brush yourself on the AstroTurf instead. Leave that camera alone. That's Patreon camera. You're going to scratch yourself. You want me to scratch your chin with that? Here, look, seriously. Try this. This will be much more effective. Rub on that. Rub your face on it. You can't have it. Where exactly would you take it? Into her stash. She says, "That's mine now." You do not need to be chewing that brush. So that was our ferrets being brushed for the very first time. I think it's going to take them a little while to get used to it, MahdDogg.
I think it is. They'll get there eventually, though. I think it's fair to say it's going to become one of their favourite things.
Yes. And there was a brilliant long clip of that whole thing from another angle. You could actually see Wriggles going and trying and attacking the Patreon cam. That was a great place to use the Patreon cam. So we're going to be doing more of that for you guys on Patreon in the future. And of course, there's tons more content coming on YouTube. By the time you're watching this, we will have already posted our first proper informational guide, and that is a tips for streaming your own animals, 5 top tips. MahdDogg did a brilliant job on that this week, so thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
I hope you guys find it useful. Well, MahdDogg, thank you so much. That's us caught up on the week that was. Your favourite moment?
It's got to be the bouncing. I'm a sucker for bouncing. Whenever I see the girls bounce, it just makes me happy. And that's it. That's all I need.
I'm 100% with you. And I promise you guys next week I'm going to work really hard at trying to capture those magical Shaky Fox epic moving moments, and also some of the really cute stuff when Sleepy Wriggles pokes her face out of the sleep hole. So that's us caught up with the week that was. All that remains to be done now is see what the girls get up to next. So I've tried, last night I just did them in a big dollop of salmon paste. What I've done this morning to try not to overload them with treats in this, because they didn't seem to even flinch, so I've tried just putting a small blob of salmon paste and mixing it with water to sort of make it, spread it out a bit and mix their pills in there. So hopefully they'll take this without objection, and then we can limit the amount of treats they get so that we can save them for you guys to treat them. Ladies, get some treats. Come on. For you. Is that good? Oh, careful. Oh no, she's making. Oh no. Okay, that might not work. I might need to put a bit more. Are you okay? Alright, she's getting used to it. It's just a weird flavour initially. Sometimes it's like not an unpleasant flavour, but it's just like a different flavour. They did this at first when I was giving them their Pepto-Bismol mixed with the amoxicillin suspension, because that's kind of lemon and mint, neither of which are unpleasant flavours. I mixed with a bit of salmon paste, and initially they were kind of like making those kind of shaky face expressions, but they got used to the flavour. No, you don't need your sisters. Come on, finish it. Finish. Oh, it's nearly finished. No, she's wiping it off her face. You You alright, lady? Are you okay? Right. So I'm just going to switch the camera view to be able to help me reposition that. Oh, that was Wriggles. I was surprised. I thought you were Scruffles. She's a clever girl. I thought you were Scruffles. That's the first time she's done that. You're getting a bit more confident in your climbing, are you? No! Oh, it's gonna be the death of me! You're not a flying squirrel! Jesus Christ.
Breakfast, fresh coffee and bagels too. A new day is waiting for us. We got lots of fun stuff to do. Let's go to the zoo and feed the monkeys. I can lend them your baseball cap. Let's make the day a better fun. Growing up is just a plan. Don't it seem like a drive? Like putting all of your joy in a big brown bag. I won't listen to any of that jazz. No, I'll never go. Oh, it's just a big fat crowd. I take pride in never working at boys. We got lots of fun stuff to do. Let's go to the zoo and feed the monkeys. I can lend them your baseball cap. Let's make the day a barrel of fun. Growing up is just a trap. Don't it seem like a drive? Like putting all of your joy in a big brown bag. I won't listen to any of that jazz. No, I'll never grow up. Growing up is just a big fat crowd. I take pride in never working that day. Can't see the use of it anyway. Who can think of such a low-down crowd? Growing up is just a trap.
But I'm excited for this weekend. I have a plan. there's something that I've been thinking about all week. So as I start to think about, what can I do to make content that might be useful to other ferret owners, or just pet owners in general, or streamers in general. And one of the things, that the girls love tunnels, right? And I love being able to see them in a tunnel. But these are expensive. I think these are like 21, 22 quid. So not cheap, and actually not sort of, they're not going to last forever, because already I think it's at this end. See, the girls have made hole in there, and I think there's a hole halfway up it as well. Hello, what are you doing? What are you doing? There's a queue behind you. Hello, welcome. I don't suppose you can see this, can you? Or you can see it on that. I should point that camera further down. Hello. They're just going round and round it. Is that fun? Hello. Are you going back in again? What? What? Are you going back in again, or are you coming out, or are you just going to sit there all day? Oh, you see, she's chewing it. This is a perfect example. Oh. This is a perfect example of what I mean. So these things are not, sort of indestructible, and they're expensive. And so I thought, hello you. I thought what I could do is try and figure out how to make things to entertain the girls that cost little or no money at all. And so today we are making a tube, a ferret tube. Today we're going to make a ferret tube out of pop bottles, a clear ferret tube so you can see them running through it, but it's not going to cost 20 quid. So we're going to be using, it's a fairly simple recipe. You'll need, I think, about 8 of these pop bottles. It must be the 2 litre ones. You can't make it very small, because otherwise they could get stuck and it could suffocate them and stuff like that. So make sure they're the big ones, and some cable ties and a hole punch. And I've also bought some sort of cloth gaffer tape as well, because what they'll do is they'll end up pulling themselves through the tube if they like it, and they may sort of catch their sort of claws on the edge of the plastic, and that could be sharp. So I thought I would just sort of soften the I thought I would just soften the edges, just to make sure they don't slice their little paws. So my neighbours have very kindly been dropping these off on my doorstep for the last week, because I don't really drink pop, but yeah, my wonderful neighbours have supplied the materials, as they always do. And what I want to do is do it up here on camera C, and also tilt down camera D, and MahdDogg's man in the chairing at the moment, he's going to zoom in so that we get a good view from those 2 cameras of the process, and that way, if it works and they enjoy it and like using the tunnel, then I can use that footage to create a how-to guide to show other ferret owners how to do it. So that's the plan. Yes? Is that a good plan? Is that a good plan? Is it a good plan? Is it a good plan? Is it a good plan? Well, let's see. Scissors. Little scissors. A hole punch. Some tape. bunch of plastic bottles. Oh, how did you get up there? Scruffles! Meanwhile, I wondered why Scruffles wasn't joining us. She's managed to climb herself up onto the counter. And was walking away with the open bottle of salmon pate. You cheeky monkey, how did you get up there? Those steroids. Oh my gosh, she's on steroids and suddenly she can get to places that she never could get before. You do have to be careful around ferrets because, as you can see, she's incredibly curious about the whole cutting thing. And they move so quickly that before you know it, you could have an accident where you snip off a whisker or such like. And I think the reason they're so interested in the smell is because it smells of Coke still. So it's a Coke or a Pepsi bottle. Okay. So take the cable ties. Excuse me? That was not in the plan. I'm making you a tunnel. You didn't need to empty the cable ties out of the bag to make your own. What about the tunnel? Look, what about the tunnel? Oh no, what have they done to you, Scruffles? Ah. You are impossible! What? What? I'm literally never going to be able to not watch her in this room again. Unless I completely redesign that door. You're a terror. I'll just leave that like that whilst I get on over here and she'll instantly read. So we put that lip on there to stop her from climbing that fence. And until now, it's been sufficient. And there she goes. Up the door. So this little monster is I'm gonna have to, so we put this originally on here because she was just, straight away just went straight climbing up here. And so I put this small kind of lip, and that's been enough to keep her. She's given it, some considerable amount of effort over the months, but has never been able to breach that before. But day 2 of steroids, and my attempts have been foiled. So now I'm going to have to figure out a better way to stop her climbing that door. But I think just initially I just want to see whether or not they get any use out of the tunnel. Yes! Is that fun? Well, I think that just got the Wriggles seal of approval. I think that just got the Scruffles seal of approval. Thank you for watching My Life with Ferrets. If you've enjoyed the show, please hit the like and subscribe button and hit the notification bell too, so that you know always when we've gone live or we've posted new content for you. And we love hearing about your pet streams as well. So feel free to post a link in the comments below. I know people don't normally want you to advertise your channels in their comments, but we welcome it, as long as it is fluffy and family friendly at all times. Thank you so much for watching.